Last session we discussed about all the bootstrap related things. You started designing the template. How much percent completed? Finished? Huh? So in 1-2 days, can you submit all that? Right. So next, now from today, we are going to start understanding and working with JavaScript. Now we will use all the knowledge of Bootstrap, HTML, and we will do more with the Bootstrap and HTML through this JavaScript. So now technically, what is JavaScript, how it works, some basic points we have to know. First important concept you should know that JavaScript is so lightweight, just in time, JIT, just in time compiled programming language. JavaScript is lightweight, just in time compiled programming language. What does that mean? I will tell you. So JavaScript is lightweight, just in time compiled programming language. Actually, when we ask generally what is JavaScript, many people will give you answer like JavaScript is a client-side script, but not. So JavaScript is not just a client-side script. It is more than that. So that technical people know. Generally people say JavaScript client-side script because they don't know complete about JavaScript. So JavaScript is a very big language. It's a programming language. Lightweight because it's not heavy on applications. Just in time compiled programming language means actually here what is just in time that you need to understand. Generally there are two types of compiling techniques. There are two types of compiling techniques. One is JIT, just in time. Another one is AOT, ahead of time. So one is just in time. Another one is ahead of time. Ahead of time. We have two types of techniques, just in time and ahead of time. Right. So what is difference between these two is actually JavaScript based technologies use it. Just in time, ahead of time means concept is actually simple. For example, what happens is, suppose, so we have this is the application. So that means we have some application. So this is the app. And we have some browser, that is browser. Generally what happens is, so this is browser, right? Yeah. Now what happens is this application related logic is loaded into browser and it is compiled in browser. Then we call it as JIT, just in time. That means the code is loaded into browser and it is compiled in browser. That means compilation happens in browser. That means you developed an application. This application code will be first loaded into browser and browser will compile it. Inside browser, compilation will happen. Ahead of time means the compilation happens. So in the application itself, that means the compilation happens here. After compiling, the compiled logic is sent here. This will save time. It will make application lightweight. But JavaScript is not by default ahead of time. JavaScript is by default just in time. To make it ahead of time, you need extra compilers. We have extra compilers like Babel. So we have so many compiling techniques. So popular, this is Babel. And we have compilers like V8, which is for JIT, just-in-time compiling. Later you will learn more about compiling techniques. The point is, if you are compiling before it goes to browser, that is called ahead of time. If you are compiling inside the browser, then it is just in time. JavaScript is by default just in time. And very important is, so that means what is this two? JIT compiles logic in browser. JIT compiles logic in browser, and AOT compiles logic. AOT compiles logic at application level, at app level, application level. So that is the difference between just in time and ahead of time. Just in time and ahead of time. So just in time is default compiling technique. So that is the reason JavaScript is lightweight and just in time compiled programming language. And very important is JavaScript is used. So next important point is JavaScript supports various programming techniques and approaches. JavaScript supports various programming techniques and approaches. Like we have functional programming, structural programming, imperative programming. What are these? We are going to learn. So don't worry. What is functional, structural programming? We will discuss about them. So we will learn about them. And object-oriented programming, etc. All these are supported by JavaScript. So remember, one important point is JavaScript is not an OOP language. JavaScript is not an object-oriented programming language. It supports only few features of OOP. Understood? That means it's not a complete object-oriented programming. Some people have a wrong assumption about that. Some people say that JavaScript OOP language. JavaScript is not OOP language. JavaScript supports some features of OOPs. It's not a OOP language. It supports only some features of OOPs. We will get more clarity once we start learning the language. That means why it will not support all features of OOPs. We will discuss about that. So if anybody says JavaScript OOP concepts, that is okay, correct. but it is not a complete OOP language. It supports some features of OOPs. It doesn't mean that it is a OOP language. Only few options are supported. Those we are going to learn. And very important, JavaScript is used. JavaScript is used client side, client side. It is used server side. It is used in database. It is used in animations. So JavaScript is used everywhere. That is the reason don't say that JavaScript is a client-side language. Because many people say, many websites also will show you that, saying that client-side script. So remember, JavaScript is more than what it is, means what it is known for. JavaScript is used client-side with HTML. That means HTML people use client-side. But JavaScript is used server-side also. We will see Node.js. Node.js is a server-side technology which uses JavaScript. So JavaScript is not just client-side, it is used server-side also. JavaScript is used in database like MongoDB. There is a database called MongoDB which uses JavaScript. That means JavaScript is not just client-side scripting language. JavaScript is used client-side, it is used server-side. When people teaching you JavaScript with HTML, they will tell you that client-side. But you should not say that JavaScript is client-side. JavaScript, while working with HTML, it is client-side. But actually, JavaScript can be used client-side, server-side, database, animations. Animations we call as action script actually. Action script means in softwares like Flash, like 3ds Max. All these softwares use JavaScript as for animations. That means we have softwares like Flash, 3ds Max, 3D modeling, designing. So you might have learned about some CAD, you know, CAD programming. So like AutoCAD and all these people use for building plans, designs and all. There also JavaScript is used. That means JavaScript is used for so many animation softwares also. So JavaScript is very huge. JavaScript is very huge. So it has large base. So we will learn JavaScript in such a way that it will help us to use client side, server side, database everywhere. So we are not just learning JavaScript only for client side. We will use everywhere. In our full stack, we are going to use in 3 places. With HTML, we will use. Later in server side, we will use, and in database. We are going to use JavaScript everywhere. So the point is, this is actual concept. Means JavaScript is a big language with all these features, What is the evolution? That means why it is called JavaScript. Evolution we will see. Evolution of JavaScript actually. So evolution of JavaScript, just a basic history. So actually, when web development started, so we used a script in the beginning days of web. That means the first browser was Mosaic. Mosaic is the name of first browser. So we started using internet with a browser called Mosaic. Mosaic is the name of world first browser. So we started with Mosaic, and when Mosaic came, we used language called GML, SGML. These were the languages used. for presentation. So for presentation, we used these languages. And for scripting, we used ECMA script. We used ECMA script. ECMA is European Computer Manufacturers Association. It's a standardization. That means ECMA script is considered as the mother of all scripts in the world. Means all scripts came from this script only, ECMA script. In the beginning days, when internet started, so with the browser Mosaic, we started a language. We used a language called GML and HTML. Then with that, we used a script called ECMA script. ECMA script was used as client side. To support GML and HTML, we used ECMA script, ECMA. After that, what happened is, already we learned that in the early 1990s, Tim Berners-Lee introduced a language HTML. We know that already in the history we discussed. He introduced HTML, and we started using HTML as markup language. Then what happened is, in 1994, in the early 1994, a company called Netscape Communications developed a browser called Netscape Communicator. Netscape Communicator was the browser. After Mosaic, so very popular browser was Netscape. Even today, for example, you see you are using mobiles, different mobiles you are using. Samsung, LG, all these, so many mobiles you are using. Now, do you know all mobiles follow a standardization? All mobiles have to follow a standardization. Otherwise, our country government will ban those mobiles. All mobiles have to follow certain standardization. Actually, do you know all mobiles follow the standardization of Motorola? They follow the standardization of Motorola. That is Six Sigma standards we have. They follow the standardization of a mobile called Motorola. That is the reason you see walkie-talkies, police, army, navy, air force, everybody's Motorola only. Walkie-talkies, everything will be there. We have to follow the standards of Motorola. We follow all the worldwide, all mobiles follow the standards of Motorola only. Similarly, every browser in the world follows the standards of Netscape. Opera, Firefox, or Internet Explorer, or Edge, Chrome, everybody have to follow the architecture. They have to follow the why to follow? If you don't follow that standard architecture, security issues will come. That means worldwide, to avoid the security problems, so we are following a certain standardization which is common. If any mobile is developed, sometimes you see few years back, even today also, some China mobiles will be there, right? They don't follow the standards and they release the mobile. Then immediately country government bans, says that this mobile is not allowed, right? Why? Because they don't follow the standards. Then security issues will come. You cannot know their location, so you cannot handle them. You cannot do so many security things. That's the reason. So even today, any new browser comes, it will follow the standards of Netscape. We will see in program how to know the standards, what it is using. We can see that everybody follows the standards of Netscape only. Even Mosaic was first browser, but widely used browser was Netscape. We have to purchase that and use browsers. Now browsers are free. Earlier we have to purchase the browser. And Netscape, what they have done is, they started using HTML. That means markup language was HTML. presentation, and they started ECMA script. They started ECMA script, but ECMA script was not designed for HTML. Then it was facing problem in handling HTML. That means ECMA script was not designed for HTML and it was facing problem in that. That's the reason. So what happened is Netscape appointed Brendan Eich. Netscape appointed Brendan Eich to develop a script for them. That means to develop a client-side script. So Brendan Eich was appointed. He was a developer at CERN Laboratories. CERN, so Council for European Research and Nuclear. Many people, even Tim Berners-Lee, Brendan Eich, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, these all people are the interns of CERN Laboratories. They came from that group only, majority of people. So that is now called as American labs. So the CERN Laboratories, they picked up Brendan Eich and asked him, you please design a client-side script for us, because ECMA script was not handling HTML properly. You design a script. And he developed a script for Netscape. And he named that script as live script. Actually, it was first named was Mocha. Its first name was Mocha. Mocha is the name of a coffee flavor. So he named that as Mocha. Mocha is the name of first script. He developed a script called Mocha and given to Netscape. So after that, that means Brendan Eich developed it, but it doesn't belong to Brendan Eich. It belonged to Netscape. Brendan Eich just an employee. And interestingly, so that is the JavaScript that we are using today. Do you know he developed this entire JavaScript? So Mocha, this entire JavaScript in 10 days. He took only 10 days to design it. He took only 10 days. That was revolution at that time. That means he was very well known for that. Just in 10 days, he developed entire browser script. And we take 1 month to learn it. A portion of it. And he developed entire script in just 10 days. That's the ability of Brendan Eich. And Brendan Eich is not new. After that, he established a company called Mozilla. Mozilla Firefox belongs to Brendan Eich. He is the architect of Firefox. He was the CEO of Mozilla for several years. Now he is the head of a group called MDN, Mozilla Developers Network. Right? He is very popular. But when he developed it, he named it as Mocha. After that, Netscape changed the name to LiveScript. First its name was Mocha, then it was name changed to LiveScript. But what happened is Netscape is not a company of language. Netscape don't have the ability to maintain language. Netscape asked to build a language. He built and given it. But HTML was growing very fast. And what Brendan Eich developed was not matching to it. Not matching to me, it should also update. Na? And Brendan Eich gone out of that. That means he developed and given it. That's it. Then improvements have to happen. And that improvement responsibility, so taken by, that means script belongs to whom? Netscape. But the responsibility of maintaining it was taken by a company called Sun Microsystems. Sun Microsystems took the responsibility. They took the responsibility of maintaining this script. And once they took the responsibility of maintaining the script, they named this script as JavaScript, because Sun Microsystems already have a language called Java. They already have a language called Java, and Netscape people, what they have done, they asked Sun Microsystems that Already you have a language, you maintain this also. So that means JavaScript belongs to whom? JavaScript built by whom? Brendan Eich. Belongs to whom? Netscape. Maintained by whom? Sun Microsystems. Sun Microsystems maintains that. And due to that, to tell the developers across the world, developer community across the world, that this maintenance belongs to us. So they named it as JavaScript, because Sun Microsystems was popular at that time with a language called Java. And they named it as JavaScript. That's the reason people have confusion. Why it is called JavaScript? Is there any relation between Java and JavaScript? Only company relation. There is no technical relation between Java and JavaScript. There is no technical relation. There is nothing related to Java in JavaScript. Then why they given the name JavaScript? Just to tell the developers community that we are maintaining it. So to tell the developers that we are maintaining it, they named it as JavaScript. So this all happened in the early 90s. So from 94, 95, 96, gradually Mocha, LiveScript, then JavaScript. Suddenly what happened is in 1998, Microsoft people, what they have done is, in 1998, Microsoft developed an operating system called Windows 98. So actually they developed Windows earlier only. 95 onwards they have Windows. Before 95 also they have Windows. So from 95 onwards Windows became operating system. Windows was operating environment before that. So in 1998, Microsoft introduced Windows as an operating system. And to make that operating system popular, what Microsoft have done is they given several free apps. They have given several free apps. For example, see, you all people look very young. I don't think that you know operating environments and all, right? Because from recent years only you may be learning computing technologies, right? People who are into the computing technologies more than 20-25 years, they know all this. That means how was computing technologies earlier, now how changes are made and all. Actually, first, in order to prepare letters, documents, we used to use a software called WordStar. It is a word processor, and we have to buy it. That means it's not free. For spreadsheets, we use a software called Lotus. Lotus is used for Excel. Excel came from Lotus only, MS Excel. That means you don't know about Lotus, WordStar like things. We used to use a software called Fox Pro, which is used for database. Even today, very old companies are still using Fox Pro. Visual Fox Pro, they are using it. Very old these are. You people are from the generation of Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server. Before that, so many are there. And these are all paid sources. We need to buy them and use them. Now, what happened is Microsoft introduced several free apps. In those free apps, a free browser also was there. And you know their free browser. What is that browser? Internet Explorer. Before that, everybody have to buy browser, but suddenly now browser came free. Because actually Microsoft, every operating system have its own abilities. Means they have their own features. Do you know what is the specialty of Windows XP? You know Windows XP na? Do you know what is the specialty of Windows XP? You don't know. You don't know even what is specialty of Windows 8 or Windows 10. You just know it as operating system. You just know that it will load your machine and open Notepad or MS Paint or do something. That's it. That's what you know. Right? But the point is, why they are releasing new version? There must be something changed. Na? color change, background change. No, technically so much happened. Do you know the speciality of Windows XP? Windows XP came with a feature called plug and pay. Plug and play. It came with a feature called plug and play. Plug and play. Actually, I will tell you a small point here. In the beginning of my learning days of computing systems, when I started learning computers, so I have a diary. Even today, I have it. I have a diary. In that diary, I have a notes how to open a movie from CD. Notes means how to open movie from a CD, compact disc. Right? That means insert compact disc. After that, open this location. Go to this folder. Double click on this. Double click on that. Then it will open. We have a process. And these people made a revolution, Windows XP. What they have done is, you put CD, it plays. That's great. Plug and play. Do you know USB concept came from there? USB came from this concept only. Earlier, do you know, if you want to use a printer, you have to attach a printer or a mouse. Do you know, earlier when we were using Windows and suddenly mouse or keyboard failed, detach and attach a new keyboard, it will not work. You have to restart the computer. And this USB came and XP came with a plug and play feature. You push in the device, it's ready to use. You see now, Windows shows that facility, that plug in any USB device, it says ready. Earlier we have to restart. You changed the mouse, restart. You changed the keyboard, restart. So this is the revolution of Windows XP. It made XP plug and play features. That means more facilities for user. And Windows 98 was specially designed for internet. And they made so many features available for internet free. Then what happened? People stopped using Netscape. Now people shifted to Internet Explorer. Everybody, see why they made these free, to make their operating system popular among users. And at that time, internet was trending and everybody wants a free browser and a good graphical operating system, and Windows became a revolution there. Everybody started using Windows in their computer. So that is the point. Now what happened is, once they started in 1998, and at the end of 2004, by the time of 2004, Netscape stopped its browser. Netscape stopped its browser because nobody was using it anymore. Netscape stopped the browser, and they stopped JavaScript also. Netscape stopped the browser and JavaScript. And they given JavaScript not to Sun Microsystems. They given responsibility of JavaScript to ECMA. JavaScript is a language which follows the standards of whom? ECM. And they given this language to ECMA itself. They say that you maintain it now. ECMA started maintaining the JavaScript from 2004 onwards. After 2004, no more Netscape. People started using other browsers. So many other browsers came, free browsers came, and JavaScript also not there. JavaScript was seized there. And they given responsibility of JavaScript to ECM. Now, once ECMA started developing JavaScript, they named JavaScript as ECMA script. Now, ECMA script is equal to JavaScript. JavaScript means ECMA script. Generally, they started naming as ES. ES4, ES5, ES6, ES7, ES8. So actually that is nothing but 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. Now very recent ES is, so they started with ES4 and very latest is ES20, very latest. That is ES20 ECMA script 2020. That is the latest one using. So that is the latest JavaScript. So generally people who don't know this, they don't know that JavaScript is called ECMA. So they ask like, sir, after finishing JavaScript, will you teach ECMA also? Right? You know, so we should laugh on their statement. Why? Because so JavaScript is ECMA script. Even in the beginning days, they ask like, along with JavaScript, will you teach ES also? Right? So the point is, because technically they don't know, JavaScript is called ECMA script. So you are learning ECMA script, you are learning ES. That means you are learning JavaScript. So this is the basic evolution. And we are learning all the latest features. Whatever latest is there in JavaScript, we are going to learn. And this is good because all the latest technologies are using latest JavaScript. But 2020 is very too much advanced. So but still we will learn all, right? From old to new features, everything we will discuss here. So what's new in this 2020, you will understand at the end. At the end, we will discuss about what's new, right? Because without knowing what is there in previous, you can't understand what is new if I explain also, right? That's the reason. So JavaScript started as Mocha, and now it is ECMA script. 2020 is the latest. Actually 2021 trial release also there. So but officially 2020. Still companies are using, in companies still they are using ES6 or ES7 only. So even people are not updated to ES8 also, right? Companies are still using ES6 and ES7. In several job opportunities, you will see people ask for ES6 or ES7. Very rare ES8 and 2020. Why? Because they are very advanced, and companies also don't need that much, right? So but we will learn what new features added, we will discuss, right? So this is basic evolution. So JavaScript is ES. So JavaScript version is ES. If anybody asks which version of JavaScript you learned, right, which version of JavaScript you know, then you can say that I know JavaScript ES6 above. We know all the features, learning 6 and above. Every feature up to now we will know. We will discuss about that, right? So that means in resume you can keep as ES6 plus. Because in resume you write, so I know JavaScript also, then you say better ES6 plus. ES6 plus means the person will understand that he knows advanced JavaScript and all. That means all the new features and all, right? That is basic thing. So first important now, after knowing all this basic evolution, means how it came, what is the concept behind this JavaScript. Now we are going to use JavaScript. We are going to use JavaScript with HTML. We are going to use JavaScript with HTML. That means we are going to use JavaScript. First, we are going to learn client side. Understood? We will use JavaScript server side also, and we will use JavaScript in database also. But we finished HTML. We will see how to use JavaScript with HTML. Now the question is, what is the role of JavaScript in HTML? What is the role of JavaScript in HTML? So the role of JavaScript in HTML. The role of JavaScript in HTML, so how it is used. See, so many points are there. What is the main purpose is, JavaScript is used. JavaScript is used client side. Client side. JavaScript is used client side. JavaScript is used client side in order to reduce burden on server. In order to reduce burden on server. in order to reduce burden on server. Reduce burden on server. So what is that? I will tell you. JavaScript is used client side in order to reduce burden on server. What does that mean? See, actually, so to understand this part, suppose here we have some database. Suppose we have database. So we usually have database. In the database, we have some data like name, like age, like email, something is there. And age, name is a string, age is a number, email is also a string. So age is a number, numeric value. Now, so we have, so this is server side. This is server side, and server side we will have an application app. This app usually uses an concept called API. Later we will learn about that. Now we have client side. So this is client side, and this is a client side. And usually communication is managed by a middleware. So we have so many things. So we will have a web server, and we will have middleware. So much is there. So we will have middleware which manages the communication. Middleware, so many. This complete architecture you will understand. Now what happens is user have to register. To register, we will provide here in a browser, we will provide a form to user. He have to fill in the details like name, like age, like email. These details he need to fill in. The details like name, age, and email. Now, name is okay. Age, he entered some string. So, and email also string, okay. Now what happens is, after entering the details, these details are submitted by the user. This will come to web server. From web server, they will go to middleware. From middleware, they will go to server side application. From here, it will go to database. Now database have to insert into the table, and it sees that the age is wrong data. They are asking for number and some string type. Then database rejects it. Table rejects it. Then this database will prepare a message why it rejected. That will be sent back to server. This API will prepare a message why it came back. So, and it will send to middleware. From there again it will come to web server, and finally it will show a message that age is not correct. This is lengthy process. That means transporting from one server to another server, it will take so much time. Then in real-time web development, as much as possible, reduce burden on server. You cannot completely avoid server, it's mandatory, but better reduce burden on server. How to reduce burden on server? When user enters age, if I can verify that age here itself, that means in the browser itself, if I can verify the age, that's very good. That means here itself, I can verify the age. And if everything is correct, then only I will send it to web server. Then I will go to API, and here I will handle it. This is good. That means we need a script. We need a script that runs on client browser, and it will verify before it is going to server. This will reduce burden on server. And who is that script? Who can run in browser? So a client side script. That means who is it? JavaScript. So what is the role of JavaScript here? The main role of JavaScript is to reduce burden on server. Now, many times people have a doubt now, like, then why can't I do everything in JavaScript only? We can't do everything in JavaScript because the problem is browser side script anyone can disable. JavaScript can be disabled. If JavaScript is, why JavaScript is disabled? Because client side scripts have security issues. Due to that, browser can disable client side script. If client side script is disabled, then it cannot verify age in browser. Then we have to verify in server. That means we need a combination of both client side as well as server side. But if you client side is ready, do it client side only. That is good. That is reducing the burden of server. The main purpose of client side using JavaScript client side is to reduce burden on server. That is the main point. Actually, where we use is how we can reduce burden on server. So JavaScript can reduce burden on server by handling validations client side, by handling interactions client side, by handling validations client side, by handling interactions client side. JavaScript can reduce burden on server. Validation means just now I showed you. Validation means verifying whether the value is correct or not. Verifying whether the value is correct or not. And interaction means, client side interactions means, for example, suppose client side interaction is nothing but simple. This is also, see, for example, we have a printer. So we have a printer. Suppose a printer is attached to client computer. A printer is attached to the client computer. Now I opened a ticket. Ticket actually comes from database. From the database, so the ticket will come and it will show inside the page. So data comes from database, it shows, and I need to print the ticket. And when I click print button, then it will go to server. And the server, what it will do is, it will invoke the printer on the client computer. That is too much lengthy. Printer is attached to client machine, then why can't you invoke here itself? Why can't you invoke here itself? That means what we can do is, we can use a script here. We can use a script here. And script is nothing but, generally, we can use a script here. This script is going to invoke this printer directly. And it will print this page on the printer. Why to go to server? We don't need to go to server. That means because printer is attached to my machine, why I need communication with server? I can print here itself. Actually, sometimes we have to get from server. Sometimes we directly do here. That is the reason you observe when you print some content of a website on printer, you will see exactly what you want will not be printed. So many extra details are printed, like page title, date, times, and unnecessary things. So many will print because it will print entire client side screen. Sometimes we don't want like that. Sometimes we want only ticket, right? You see, suppose you booked a ticket for flight or bus. If you booked a ticket for flight or bus, so then you see early days, these days we have SMS. Early days people have to carry a big A4 paper at the bus and they have to show that A4 paper. His ticket is very small, so you are carrying out a complete email printout. People have to do that earlier. Why? Because when I print client side, it will print entire screen. I don't want that. Only ticket I want. Only ticket if you want, then it has to come as a report from database. That is lengthy. That is the reason we avoid it. Just like you see bank statements. When you want to generate a bank statement, then what it will do? It will go to server. It will generate data into a PDF form and or Excel form, and it will show you, so that it is convenient to print only bank statement as statement, not unnecessary things. Tickets we don't want like that. That's very lengthy process. That is the reason even the people who want the ticket to see hard copy, they will say that, okay, bring the entire printout, it's okay for us. Right? The point is client side interactions and client side validations are managed by using what? JavaScript. Due to that, some people give JavaScript definition like this. That means if you ask what is the purpose of JavaScript, then immediately people say JavaScript is used for client-side validations. Is it only the role of JavaScript? No. JavaScript is used client-side, server-side, database. And client-side, when we are using JavaScript, one of the role of JavaScript is validations. JavaScript entire role is not only validations. It will do a lot of other things also. Right? One of the work JavaScript regularly used for is for validations and client-side interactions. And not only that, so it will handle lot of DOM manipulations. DOM manipulations. DOM manipulations means what? DOM manipulations are nothing but adding elements. So removing elements, and rendering new data into elements. So like updating data in elements, etc. All these are done. Adding elements, removing elements, rendering new data, all such things are done by using this. So we can add elements, we can remove elements, we can update data into elements, some render new data into elements. All such things we can manage. All such things we can handle. That's what the main intention of manipulations, DOM manipulations. I will tell you. For example, suppose there is an image. I don't want to show this image on page. Then what we will do? We will put style. In style, we can put display. Display as what? None. Now, is it removed from page? It is not removed from page. It is there in page, but hidden. Then what is the use? Page is not reducing its burden. That means you are keeping the content in page and you are still hiding it, then no use. It is not displayed, that's fine, but page burden is same. Hiding an element will not reduce the burden on page, then better remove it. CSS cannot remove it. CSS can make your DOM better. It can hide it and show it, but it cannot remove it. But if you remove it, then it is good. So that's how to remove it. That JavaScript can do. JavaScript will add new things when you want. It can remove when you want. It can update the data when you want. CSS can hide it, but it will not reduce the burden. That is the reason HTML presents and JavaScript makes the presentation interactive. So that means HTML is presenting DOM and JavaScript is manipulating DOM. At high level, technically, for experienced person, anybody asked, what is the role of JavaScript with HTML? Then he will say one word answer, DOM manipulations. That's it, DOM manipulations. In DOM manipulations, everything will come. That means adding elements, removing elements, updating data into elements, everything will come. That means, so if at high level in interviews, anybody asks, what is the role of JavaScript? What is the role of JavaScript? So with HTML, what is the role of JavaScript with HTML? So the answer is very simple. So DOM manipulations. DOM manipulations. That is a simple, technical, straightforward answer, and interviewer will be satisfied with that. And if you ask what are DOM manipulations, then you can say adding elements, removing elements, so rendering data into elements, updating data into elements, all this comes under DOM manipulations, right? This is the purpose of JavaScript in HTML. Now, how to keep JavaScript in HTML? That is important. So next step, how integrating JavaScript into page. Integrating JavaScript into page. How we can integrate JavaScript into page? So same like CSS, you know, same like CSS, JavaScript can be integrated into page in 3 ways. I hope you can tell those 3 ways. What are those? One is inline, another one is embedded, another one is external file. External file. That means JavaScript is same like CSS. It can be inline, it can be embedded, it can be external file. What is the difference? No need to explain. Already we learned detailedly in CSS. I will show here. So JavaScript can be inline, JavaScript can be embedded, or JavaScript can be an external file. Which one is best? Depend on situation. In inline advantage is it is faster, but drawback is not reusable. If you want to reuse within the page everywhere, then embedded. Across pages, then external. These rules are same. Only the point you have to know how, just basic I will show you. See. So I'm designing here. And for JavaScript, you don't need to install anything. Any computer, it is having a browser, means it is having JavaScript. A computer having browser, any browser, old version browser, new version browser, any browser, and an operating system comes with JavaScript. So you don't need to install anything new, right? You can directly start using it. And here I will show you. So suppose we will add a separate folder. I will add for our JavaScript. I will add a separate folder. Okay. In that I am giving here some home.html. See, I am writing some presentation doc type HTML head and title, some JavaScript and inline. So I said inline. Okay. So in the body section, we have a button, say print. And our intention is when user clicks the print button, it should open printer properties to print. That means here I will keep a heading. So click print button to print page like this. And how to write JavaScript for that? You can write inline directly like this. Don't worry what I am writing. Just observe the concept. How to write that we will see, right? So inline means when button is clicked, we are writing on click. On click window dot print. So that means when button is clicked, it will print. So don't worry. We are going to learn what is on click, what is window dot print. We will discuss detailedly about that. But this is the concept called inline. This is the concept inline. That means when I click the print button, it is working. It opens the printer properties so that we can print. We can print. So this is JavaScript inline. That means we can write there itself. But what is problem? If it is a lengthy functionality and I want again and again, then write again and again is risky. So that means, so here, this is inline. Example for inline is just syntax I will give first here. So on click is equal to window dot print, something like this. that is inline. And this is the basic example. For that later, this I will upload into classroom, all this. Now, this is inline. So we have inline. Now, how we can keep embedded? Same like styles, embedded. So if I want embedded, then in the head section, we are writing a script, this time script. And the MIME type of CSS is the MIME type of CSS. We have to give type text CSS and here text JavaScript. The MIME type. What is a MIME type? Already I explained that. No need to waste time in all those basic again, right? And here we have to write a function. The function is print page. And in that it will have window.print. This you will learn, don't worry. Just see the concept. What is function, how it is written, all these things I will tell you. We will discuss. That means now here we can access the print page, and we can use it. That means we are writing the function and we are using the function. In this, there can be 100 lines. You can access it from any location. So just by calling it anywhere. This is called embedded technique. This is embedded technique. What is good? Reusability. Suppose I have another button and here also I want it. Then on click, we have to call the same one. What is it? Print page. Reusability concerns, right? So without rewriting, we can just reuse it. So this is generally another technique, embedded. And here, this is another example. This is embedded. Embedded means what we do is first we need to put a script. Type is equal to text JavaScript. And in that we have to write a function, any name for the function. And we need to access that and use it here. That means on button on click is equal to function name. So just name. We are accessing the name and we are using it. Something like this. Insert or some option here. This is embedded technique. Now already you know the rule. Embedded, where to embed, head section or body? We can embed both head or body. What is difference? Already we know the difference also. If I want the script to load in memory and use it later, then we use head. If I want script to execute immediately along with body load, then we have to write on body load. So that depends on the situation, we have to handle it. So that is embedded, or we can use this technique. These are 2 points, right? How we can use it. Next, this is example. This is the program. I will paste this program, right? This is embedded. Now, what about external file? External file, you know, generally external file, CSS files are saved with extension .css. JavaScript files are saved with extension .js. And see here now, what I am doing here, I am removing this function only function. And I remove it from here initially. I will create a separate file. I will create a separate folder called scripts. In the scripts, we will create a new file. Printing is the file name .js. In that, we will write the logic, what we want. And we need to link it. So in the page, how to link a script already we know. Script source, because we already run JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap, bundle.js and all. Script source equal to /. It is coming from scripts. In the scripts, we have printing.js. That's it. That means this time the script is coming from this file. And that file contains a function called print page. We are using it. We have to include and we have to use it. What is good, bad? Both things we know. Suppose I click print, it is working fine. What is good? It can be accessed and used across pages. In any page you want print, then you can use this easily. But what is bad about this? Using external file, what is problem? Using external file problem is simple. So it will increase the number of requests for page. Already we learned that point. If number of requests for page will increase, then page load time also increase. So that is not great. So that is the problem with writing the scripts external. So every time external is not good. And one more point here. So that means I will show you here. First step, what we have to do, we have to create a new file. Suppose printing.js. In that we have a function print page, and this function will have window.print, something like this, and a link to HTML page. So we have to do that by using script source is equal to that file name printing.js wherever that file is present, and on button on click is equal to print page. We can access and use it. That is how we have to define. So what is the drawback of keeping the file external? Already we know. And if I want to reduce the size of this printing JS file, what should I do? If I want to reduce the size of printing.js file, then what should I do? We already learned in CSS, na? What we done in CSS? Minification. Remember that? Right? That means we need to minify the file. Minified. Same. Similarly, JS minifier will be there. If it is minified, so that means here note is always use minified script files in production. Remember that point, production. And how to minify? You know that online there will be so many JavaScript minifier softwares, you can use them. That means you can minify by using various tools. So always use minified script file for production. For development, original file. So to minify the files, you have see, suppose we have JS minifier. You can search online, so many will come. This is JS minifier. What you have to do? You have to copy the JavaScript code here. This is JavaScript code. Copy it here and minify. It will show it here. And copy the minified code. And it says that see 16% reduced, 36 bytes. You copy it, and after copying, so you can create a new file. What is it? Printing.min.js. And this minified code we will paste there. It will remove unnecessary part. It will shorten, lengthy. Those things you will see. Semicolons, additional things which are optional, it will remove them. And it is always asked to link the minified file .min.js. That means now the minified code is also working fine. So let's open that here. The minified code is also working fine. Right? If I want to reduce, then we have to minify. So that is the basic thing. So minification. You can use this JS minifier. That means what is this website? Yeah, jsminifier.com. You can go there, you can download, and you can minify the file and use it. So This is too fast discussing. Why? Because already we learned all these basics in CSS. No need to waste time in again what is inline, what is embedded, external file. Only difference you need to know here. These functions we will learn how to write the functions and all. So now once we know how JavaScript is integrated in HTML, now we will know how JavaScript take control over HTML, how JavaScript refers HTML, how it will put an image, how it will remove image, how the manipulations will happen. That we'll see in next session. Tomorrow we will do that. Okay. In tomorrow's session, we will start with programming of JavaScript.